Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Lucy Foma, Planning. I had the honor of helping to draft this resolution, and so I came up here to speak a few words to introduce it to you all. Last week, my 5-year-old daughter, who I was just playing with in the yard, said to me, "Mama, don't let anything bad happen." And then she went off to scamper and play in the treehouse, her imaginary playland. And I do my best to do that every day, and that's why I'm here, is to help her have a safe future for herself and all of her peers. At the county, as you know, we do many, many things, but you can distill it down to 3 main categories. We work to protect the health, safety, and quality of life for our constituents. Climate change impacts all of these areas. We are uniquely positioned to address this at the county. That is why I work here. And just to make this clear, climate change is not a political issue. However, we are better positioned to address this than the city or the state or the federal government even, because we are not at the same whim of the political swings that you see in those jurisdictions. We have a more stable continuity of management and government here. We also have the agility that these other agencies do not have. We have a government of about 700 employees, 150,000 residents. This is not a huge ship to redirect. We can change quickly. We can adapt and change our practices very quickly. We also have the resources that are not available at the city, state, or federal level. We have more land and more just basic resources than the city does, but we have more involved citizenry than the state and the federal government. People still know us face to face. They call me personally and ask me questions about our government and our processes. So we have people who care deeply about this rooted place and can interact with us as a government. This resolution is calling us to stop doing business as usual. We need to do different things now. But it's also not just to stop bad things from happening. This is an opportunity for us. We can do things in a completely different way. It's not just about purchasing recycled athletic wear. This is not how we're going to change and address the climate emergency that we have at hand. This is about creating opportunities for jobs, for infrastructure, for housing, for our food systems, for transportation, all of the areas that affect us day to day, and you have the ability to help us do that. A resolution in and of itself is a declaration, but we need to take this forward, and not next year, not 5 years from now, tomorrow. We need to start working on this. And in that line, I have a couple, lastly, we are public servants. That is the description of my position and your position. We are public servants. We are here to serve the public, and we need to take real consideration of the long-term consequences of our present actions. We are here to serve the public. So I'd like to call up a few members of the Yucca group. They're here. You want to come up?
Hello, There we go. Hello, I'm Artemisio Romero y Carver. I'm here from Youth United for Climate Crisis Action, otherwise known as Yucca. I'm here to speak with you as an activist and an organizer and a student. Maybe 6 months ago, I was just a student, though. I was getting B's on math tests, and I was dealing with acne and stress. And I was concerned about climate change, but I don't feel the innate fear that I do now, because until then, I had been practicing for a speech and debate tournament and stumbled across a policy paper out of the Center for Climate Restoration in Melbourne, entitled Existential Climate-Related Security Risk, a Scenario Approach. I know that that's not an exciting name or a scary one, but the information contained within this document, I've scribbled on it a little bit, but contained within this document is both exciting and deeply terrifying. Because based on the projection that these PhD scientists have produced, there is, quote, a high existential risk to human civilization if there is an increase in 2 degrees Celsius by 2050. That's a really euphemistic and jargony way of saying Human life as we know it will end at 2050 if current business standards are continued. I'm 16. If this paper is correct and we continue to do what we're doing, I won't live past 50. That terrifies me every single day. So that's why I've started taking action. That's why youth my age have started taking action. We're issuing a cry for help from the institutions of our society, from the county board. And this resolution is a good answer. It really is. I'm very excited to work on this transition fund. I'm very excited that this is something that's being offered by my local government. It's a good feeling to feel represented, especially when often you aren't. And I also want to say thank you because of that to Anna Hinson at Ed Morano, and also to the people within our community who are here today and have been there before to support this kind of action. In fact, I'd like to ask all of the people here for the climate strike bill to please stand. And there are thousands and billions more just like that. And we are asking for your help, and we are hoping, and I am begging you to please answer. Thank you.
Yate, She'e Veronica Toledo Yenishe, Ashihan Ishle, Na Kai Bashashim, Bitani Dashache, Na Kai Dashnella. Hello. I am a Diné youth from Farmington, New Mexico. I attend New Mexico School for the Arts as a visual artist. I am a part of the steering committee of Youth United for Climate Crisis Action as a spokesperson and representative of my indigenous people. I have come to you today to tell you how I have been affected by the desecration of the land for profit before I was born. I was born in a generation of time where we, the youth, developed a plan. My people have been systematically targeted in this corruption of unsafe and unjust economic development for the extraction of resources. This concern is included in the Declaration of Climate Emergency Resolution. I come here today using my academic and art studio time to tell you my personal story of how climate change unfolded in my eyes. I went back home for the weekend, and we usually crossed the river to get to town. This was as normal as always, but this day was different. This day made history in the waters. The dark cloud of chemical pollution left its mark in the water, which turned the water as pigmented as the colored mustard yellow. The waters I used to swim in are no longer safe to dip your toes in, let alone grow agricultural crops and feed your livestock. Iron and aluminum are the majority of toxins in the Animas River waste caused by the Gold King mine spill in 2015. Let alone Farmington is home to 2 coal plants, which is one of the most extracted impacted areas. This risky approach is in order to support the big cities. But in these reservation homelands, there is no adequate food, water, or medicine, as well as air pollution that surrounds relating to health problems. We need to make an adequate transition to justice that requires frontline communities who have been affected by extractive fossil fuel epidemics and are in mobilization efforts of the levels of government to benefit the transition of renewable energy economy. I would like to thank you for your time, as well as supporting the sustainable change happening so communities affected like mine can have a decision to be made so we can create change for the benefit of Mother Earth and future generations. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Jim Eagle, and I live at 21 Cougar Ridge Road above La Cañada de los Alamos in District 4. And I'm representing, along with myself, 350.org Santa Fe. And I strongly support the proposed declaration of climate emergency. The climate is presenting us with a slow-moving emergency which can be difficult to see on a day-to-day basis. But over the past decade, north central New Mexico has been experiencing an historic period of drought, and increased temperatures. And these extended hot and dry conditions are adversely affecting the county's water, air, and forest resources. And it would be naive for us to plan that these unfortunate results of man-made climate change would improve during the next decade. Your emergency declaration is very important because it tells everyone who is paying attention that this slowly developing train wreck is a no-kidding emergency which requires real corrective action now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Chair, members of the commission, my name is Miles Conway. I'm at 495 New Mexico 592 in Rio and Medio. In addition to myself, representing the thousands of supporters of New Energy Economy that once again are applauding the Santa Fe County Commission on your bold leadership for your action in bringing this resolution. Thank you, Commissioner Hansen, declaring it a climate emergency. And thank you also for the careful crafting of this resolution that in the rush and to address climate change, some other counties or state entities are likely to miss opportunities to really restore the people's voice and the people's power in determining how we address climate change and how we go about a just transition. And the language of this resolution makes it abundantly clear that that is not the case with Santa Fe County, that you're putting the people in the driver's seat and front and center in how this transition takes place. So thank you very much on behalf of myself and New Energy Economy's supporters in New Mexico and across the nation. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to speak. My name is Mybrit Eagle. I live at 21 Cougar Ridge Road. What I have to say is just 2 sentences, really. The Earth is a living planet, but its ecosystems are dying. Its reefs, its oceans, and its forests. Our culture has trouble coming to grips with the word dying. So I want to say thank you for your wisdom, Commissioner Hansen and Ed Moreno. You have seen what very few can see. You're looking it in the face, and this resolution is the effect of that. Thank you.
Hello, Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Bianca Saposi-Belknap. I work for Earth Care and New Energy Economy, as the case may be, but I'm here representing Earth Care, and we have the honor of supporting the young people of Yucca who are organizing. And I wanted to just say very briefly that you are joined in your action by so many other institutions. And today we just got word from the Santa Fe Indian School that I think has a lot of constituents that live in county territory, that they're bringing their entire high school, so 450 students from just the Santa Fe Indian School alone. El Camino Real is another school that has said that they're going to bring their entire 5th grade class, so 90 students from 5th grade will have their first opportunity to have their voices heard in this way. So I just wanted to commend you for your leadership and thank you for hearing our young people's call, and just let you know that you're among really amazing company on this. Thanks.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, I'm Roger Taylor from Galisteo. I'm here representing the Santa Fe County Democratic Party. I'm on the executive committee, and I am pleased to let you know that over the last few days we have been debating a resolution to recognize the climate crisis and to support the proposed climate strike and its goals. And as of yesterday, we unanimously passed that resolution, and it will be announced by the Democratic Party of Santa Fe County later today. And we urge you to please, on behalf of our interests, to pass this resolution. Thank you.
I'll just take a moment. I'm Dr. Valerie Gremion. I am a complex systems scientist. I'm studying the impact of climate change on not just our ecological systems, but on our human, economic, political, everything systems. All of our systems are threatened by climate change, which I'm coining the term, and I have presented this to other complex systems scientists. The real term should be something like extreme climate instability. Climate change does not convey the impact of this. The United States military has declared climate change in that, and global warming, everything associated with that, as the #1 military threat of this planet right now. We cannot not pay attention to this. I want to give you some good news, though, which is that as a scientist, I want to tell you that, first of all, although scientists are conservative, so what you're hearing is not the worst of it. But the good news is that we have tremendous, amazing scientists in this state. We are in a position to make incredible discoveries and new understandings in terms of leading the world, and not just this nation, in ways that can go forward and not just combat climate change, but mitigate and adapt to climate change in sustainable ways. And I want to let you know that we are in a specific geographical and unusual position, which allows us much greater latitude to, as long as we protect our forests, as long as we extend the green that is here, we are on the zero line for change. We have changed very little compared to the rest of most of the world. And because of our high altitude forests and the positioning of this particular city, we are in a position to not just make great leaps forward, but to actually help everyone else understand the role of ecosystem integrity, the need for permaculture, for indigenous wisdom, and for cutting-edge science, all brought together with the spiritual wisdom of this time and place, of this unique city. And I congratulate you for being in a position to lead in this way, and I ask you to do so. Thank you very much.